What's up everyone? Books and Buds here, and we're going to do some taters, precious. And I'm going to teach you how to take some of these and turn them into some big boy potatoes. Now, I kind of did them off because I'm lazy, but I'm going to pretend like it was an experiment just to show you what it's supposed to look like because they grow real big. So while we're also doing that, gotta have books. We're talking about buds. So we're going to be talking about Ender's Game, one of my favorite fantasy books. So we'll do a little quick overview of that. I'm not going to do like a big in-depth review or anything because this is all about potatoes and a little bit of sci-fi. So let's get right into that. So, got to put on your handy-dandy gloves because I tell you, you always think, oh, I'm just gonna put a little bit of soil into the pots and it's gonna be fine. I don't need to put gloves on, and then you have 18 splinters and you're like, God, I should have put gloves on. So, get pretty ones. So, first thing you want to do is I like put a little layer of dirt into the bottom of this because you want to make sure the potatoes have something to sit on. You just don't want them going in right on the bag. So imagine, well, maybe you could. No reason why you couldn't. See, I do a lot of research on things, you know, and read up on stuff, but really, if I think something's gonna work, I just do it, and if I screw up, I learn a lot from that just screwing up on my own. So this seems like it's gonna work, and if it doesn't, then I'll find out why. So anyway, get that first layer of dirt in there just to make sure. I guess I'll move this over so you can see it. Just make sure you get lots of dirt in there. Now for the fun part, we're going to take our potatoes out. These ones are some red marbles. The other ones I think are gold, so we're going to have some gold and red. Let's get this guy out of here. Let's see how they look. They look pretty good. Obviously, I think they're doing well. Really crammed in here, so I should have probably gotten them out way sooner, but because I see that potato on this side, I'm going to try to put this one onto like the inside of it. I'm going to fit two of these plants into one. It might be a little crowded, I'm not really sure, but we're going to find out, right? So what we're here to do is just to learn. Alright, now while I'm doing the rest of this, I'm basically just going to put these potatoes in, just kind of look at the roots, and then I'm going to fill in some dirt. Then we get to the hilling process. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about that. But in the meantime, let's talk about Ender's Game. Now, if you are a sci-fi nerd, you probably already read it. If you're not, maybe you've seen the movie, maybe you've just heard about it, but it is a great intro into sci-fi because the first book, I mean, look at it. It's tiny. It's not a lot in there. The text isn't super small. It's not an in-depth story. It challenges some of your beliefs with the way Ender struggles with his own things. And I read it when I was a kid in middle school and also in high school. I've reread it about a million times, and looking real good over there. Reread it about a million times, and I just love it. Now, the reason I think that this book is such a good intro into sci-fi is because if you sci-fi nerds have read just Ender's Game, have you read the other books? Because those ones start to really get in-depth and a lot of really weird space travel and the things that Ender struggles with peace and war and, you know, things, doing something bad for the greater good. There's a lot of struggles in there, so it's a lot of fun. So for you sci-fi nerds, there's a lot more in-depth stuff in there, and for people who want to have a bit more of a casual sci-fi experience, the first book stands alone. It's really, 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 really good. So I'm going to start putting the dirt in here, and let's talk about the movie. Now, if you're a fan of the Ender's Game movie, you know what? I'm right there with you. I'm a fan of it too. Good actors, good story. I really liked everything that they did in it, but man, they just completely screwed up the ending. The ending is just wrong, and it's a tiny, tiny, minute little detail, but man, it changes a huge feeling that you get from the book. So if you really like the movie, I highly recommend you at least reading up on how the book ends, because that message is so more impactful, and it leads into the other books, so it's very, very, very fun. So, get on it, people. Come on. I mean, when I read it, one of the weirdest things I learned from that book was like standing up to bullies, and you know, you really stand up for yourself and really make a point so they never bully you again. And I read this in middle school, and that's when I stopped getting bullied. Now, I started playing football, I grew, I stopped wearing glasses, you know, wasn't that nerdy kid anymore. That probably had more to do with it, but I believe that Ender really helped me take care of my bullies. So, you know, maybe it can help you too. So what you want to do when you get your potatoes in here is what you do what they call hilling. And hilling is when you cover them with dirt. Now, there's a couple different things I've read where you don't cover them completely, and some that say, oh, I'll cover them completely. Nothing's going to happen. Now, these ones grew like crazy once I got them in there. I put those in there at the same height these ones were, and I didn't completely cover them because I was a little paranoid. But I think with these ones, I'm just going to pop them all over the leaves and completely cover these and see how they go from there. Hopefully, they should do pretty well. But, I mean, we'll find out, right? So I'm going to get those stuck into there, get some dirt in there. And of course, keep your tags in there. I swear, you know, I claim that I'm going to remember. I even like try to color code them, and I still forgot. Write it down and keep the tag in there. You'll never remember. Don't trust yourself. You're stupid. You'll forget. Maybe I'm just projecting a little bit, but whatever. Okay. So there you go. So you got them all healed up. I'm going to get them watered and everything. It's getting to be that evening. You know, technically, I think it's supposedly better to hill your potatoes in the morning, but I'm lazy and stayed up late last night, so here we are. Doing during my evening water. I got my tomato plants and everything, so we're going to get that going. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. One little tidbit of information I'll leave on here, something cool about it, is basically the way that the potatoes work is that they only grow on the surface. All the roots and everything go down below and can spread out, but the tubers that grow and grow potatoes are right there on the surface of the soil. So what you want to do is have them, you know, I could probably re-hill these ones where they are right now, because enough potato growth has come up there that as I bring more dirt up, more potatoes are going to start growing up here because they're growing closer to the surface. So that's why you want to hill your potatoes to get more yield out of it. If you watched The Martian, he just plants potatoes right into the ground and doesn't hill them at all, and gets very few potatoes out of it. That's actually really legitimately true and a cool fact about the movie. And he still utilizes as much as he can out of that, which is neat. But if he had more soil, Mark Watney would have been Potato King. So hopefully you guys learned something new. Hopefully you pick up Ender's Game and eat some taters while you're doing it. Have a good one, guys.